Circles Monday morning. Now, first it was yo-yos, then Tamagotchis. Now, the latest craze to hit the schoolyard are Moshi Monsters. Now, if you have young kids like I do, then chances are you know them all too well. Please welcome the very talented creator of Moshi Monsters, Acton Smith. It is a real pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
This is the first time my kids have thought I'm cool because of what I do for work. Now, for people who don't understand what Moshi Monsters are, it's an online community where kids can nurture a virtual pet called a Moshi Monster.
Exactly.
How did you create them?
Well, when I was little, I had a pet rock. I was quite a special child. And as I got older, I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to allow kids to have their own virtual pet? Because a real pet is quite difficult to look after. And I thought monsters would be a good theme to base it on.
It's quite a fascinating diversion, though, from what you studied, Michael, because didn't you study geography?
Oh, you've done some research on me. Yes, I did geography. It hasn't really helped that much creating a world of monsters. But
what was the dream? Obviously, there was a little dream inside you, though. Where did it come from? How did you nurture it? Was it a success straight away?
No, it took quite a while. So my dad was a librarian. He'd bring all these wonderful books home when I was a kid, and The Hobbit, and kind of Where the Wild Things Are, and that kind of inspired my imagination. So yeah, it's all coming out now.
Now, people have fantasies about creating iPad and iPhone apps as the sort of get-rich-quick scheme, but to create Moshi Monsters, it was quite labour-intensive, and you had to have financial backers.
Yes, yes. So we created one game that didn't do so well, and I lost most of my investors' money, and then with the last little bit left, the final roll of the dice, we came up with Moshi Monsters, and it's done much better.
Yeah. What's the secret to the success?
I don't know, persistence has helped, and just really understanding what kids want and listening to them.
You said one of the things you said was that adults don't understand how much kids respond to good design.
Yes.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
So there's a lot of kids' games out there that are kind of designed for kids, very cutesy and very simple, and I think kids like a bit of edge and a little bit of unusualness, and we try to do that. Yeah, exactly. This is one of the boy monsters.
How many? I don't know nothing about this because my little daughter's not at that age yet. How many Moshi Monsters are there?
So there's 6 basic ones, and then there's about 200 other characters. So we've got a baddie called Dr. Strangeglove. We've got
Strangelove, Strangelove. They call him Dr.
you know the song.
Strangelove. I know them all.
What can, as a parent, if I'm thinking, what can my kid learn from this? What do they learn from having a Moshi Monster?
So the educational side is very important. It was going to be called Puzzle Monsters originally, and kids didn't quite like the name. It was a bit too kind of geeky and so, yeah, exactly. So there are 35 different puzzle games that they can play, maths and spelling and language, and they get rocks the better they do, and that helps them buy stuff for their monster and go on new adventures.
Wow. And they create moshlings as well, which are like little babies.
Those are pets for the Moshi Monsters.
Yeah.
And of course all this is online because all of our children are online constantly, all the time. Do you have a concern, is there a way for parents to be not concerned about what else they're doing online because they're online playing Moshi Monsters?
Yes, it's a very, very good point. So we take safety very, very seriously. Kids love the internet, and it's important that they have a kind of safe walled garden like Moshi Monsters to play in, rather than Facebook or YouTube or sites that are not designed for them. So we've got a big moderation team, and yeah.
And it nearly fell over a couple of years ago with the investment kind of dropping out and the failure of the first venture into it. How do you actually go back in and describe such a concept to the people that have the money, basically? Okay,
yes.
Monsters online, how do you actually convince them that it's a worthy thing to invest in?
Well, I just put on my best storytelling hat and said this is the future of kids' entertainment. You know, they loved films, they loved TV shows. Now they want to create their own content and be part of a community. And I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
I think Toys R Us, didn't they recently hold some expos around Australia?
Yes.
And the response was unbelievable. Didn't you have kids that had come hundreds of kilometres away just to sort of meet their Moshi Monster?
It was amazing. So this was yesterday in Sydney, and we had over 1,000 kids turn up. Some came from Tasmania and drive for 5 hours. And yeah,
wow. You look like you should be in a band.
It felt like that. It was incredible.
Now let's talk about merchandising, because we've seen this happen with Angry Birds, where it's something that started as an online digital creation, now has tangible, actual things that you can buy. What's happening with Moshi Monsters? Because we heard you on Breakfast last week talking to the Breakfast team on Channel 10 about a possible movie.
Yes, that was top secret. I wasn't meant to talk about that. Is anyone watching?
Yeah, my kids will lose their minds if there's going to be a movie.
So yeah, we thought it would be great to bring the online world into the real world, and we created plush toys for the kids and books and magazines and trading cards, and they love it, and it helps make it more exciting and kind of real for them.
Fantastic.
So.
Oh, it's very
Well,
exciting.
my kids wanted me to ask you for some free stuff.
You know what?
That was the first thing that came out of their mouth, wasn't it?
Funny you should say that. I brought some special Mr. Moshi cards for this Australian trip for
They're going to love it. And they did want me to also tell you that they love Dustbin Beaver, which is a little piss take on Justin Bieber. Dustbin Beaver.
The lawyers aren't too impressed with that.
They
Got to keep quiet about that.
Please say Moshi Monster genius, Michael Acton Smith.
Time for today's final offer from the Circle with Marianne.